Holy fuck.
All right. Here we go. Welcome to the first ever Heck Shid Podcast. I'm Daxter, and we have Eli and Ethan in here, and we're going to talk about Jurassic World Dominion today. It's not called Jurassic World Domination, it's called Dominion. I didn't know that until after I saw the movie. So,
Oh, really?
yeah, I absolutely thought it was just Jurassic World Domination and not Dominion, which means something completely different that I still don't completely understand. But it was a good movie in theater. So I've seen the movie, but you two
Okay.
haven't, right? Eli, you haven't seen it, and I know
I
Ethan
have
hasn't.
not seen it.
All right.
Wait,
So
so who did you go with? Like, did you go by yourself or did you go with friends?
with Kelsey, and
Oh.
we. So okay, this is gonna like I'm gonna try to just describe this to you from memory. I watched it a couple days ago, and I wonder if I could. Could you guys still hear me?
Yeah, we can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so I could go over to my pictures and take some notes. So pretty much in the last movie, at the end of the last Jurassic World movie, all of the dinosaurs escaped. There were like, I don't know, 60 of them. And
Okay.
this girl, Maisie, let them out. And in this movie, all of the dinosaurs have taken over the entire world now. They're on every fucking continent. They're completely like, and humans are still trying to get used to them because there's a bunch of dinosaurs. Just like at the start of the movie, they have this like news recording of this like TikTok of a girl running away from a bunch of like tiny ankle-sized raptors chipping at her, and she's just screaming and crying as she runs away. But like
Okay, cool.
all of the people in this world are trying to get used to adapt with dinosaurs. And at the start of the movie, there's this really great scene where there's like this long neck dinosaur, and it's just blocking a construction zone. And people are kind of just standing there and watching it, like, what the fuck, dude? I've never seen this before. How am I gonna deal with this? It's huge. It could stomp on me. And they're just like staring at it. And then this guy lights up a flare and starts backing away. And another one just gets up out of the snow like you could never see it before. It just starts trotting away, trot, trot, trot. And everyone just moves on with their life. A lot of people kind of just treat the dinosaurs like they're normal. And when people get eaten by dinosaurs, they're kind of just like, oh, okay, moving on, run away from my life now. I guess that
Like,
makes
people are
sense.
just nonchalant about, like, other people just
No
getting
one's
eaten by
just
that.
like,
I mean,
no.
yeah, I
Such-
guess. I mean, I guess you're
so-
not gonna go ahead and, like, stand around and, like, say, no, how could you if, like, your friend's getting mauled by a bear?
yeah. So they have,
Like,
at the start of the movie, they have this red-haired actor, Bryce, who is she used to work for Jurassic Park, and what she's trying to do now is, since all the dinosaurs are loose, there's this giant black market for them, and people are breeding them and making like genetically different dinosaurs, like you kind of would with dogs. And like, you know how you had the wolf to the chihuahua, kind of like that thing. You got to breed the same thing over and over again. But like they were kind of like trying to genetically engineer dinosaurs. And they're raising dinosaurs kind of like cattle in these awkward conditions. So he's kind of just stealing one rhinoceros, not one rhinoceros, one triceratops, one baby triceratops at a time, and then driving away in a van and getting hunted down by these people and getting shot at. It just to save this one little baby triceratops, and they left behind like 80 more. So she's really not making a big impact right now. The rest of her friends kind of notice it. You're like, fuck this. This is a waste of my time. I almost died back there. They were shooting at me. I'm kind of just gonna not. This isn't making a big
okay.
difference. So it turns out she's dating Owen Grady, who is Chris Pratt, and in the last movie
Okay.
he was training velociraptors, but now he's kind of like he's hurting big dinosaurs, trying to teach them like there's ways to live around humans and kind of avoid them from humans, getting them out of traps, stopping poachers. He's kind of like the all around good guy dinosaur boy. And He
Okay.
and this red hair girl they're kind of like father and momming. They're like raising Maisie, the girl who released the dinosaurs. No one cares about that now. But she's a they all say that she's a clone of the founder of Jurassic Park. And so she's super important because she's a fucking clone of this super rich guy who died like hella long ago. And Chris
Okay.
Pratt and
Wait. She's a clone of a guy who died years ago.
Why?
How is she a
How?
female if she's a clone?
well, who the fuck knows? They never explain that. They kind of just move on with that in the movie. But I do imagine like if you
They
do
said
make
fuck it.
there is still a 50% chance it could be born a different gender from you. You're like raising an embryo.
I don't know. I watched Star Wars, and there was not a Jango Fett clone that was male
I don't know.
or female.
Hey, I'll talk
Well,
about
actually, that's a lie. In Bad Batch, there was one female clone. There was
okay,
one.
one singular female clone. So it is possible.
One.
It's highly, highly unlikely.
I don't even know if that's possible, to be honest. I just like
So I'll explain it
so
later. She's not actually a clone, but for the first half of the movie, they all kind of just say that she's a clone. So Owen Grady, aka Chris Pratt, and her name is Claire Deering. That's the red hair girl. She and Chris Pratt are like raising this girl, and they pretty much say you can't leave the house, you can't leave town, you can't go beyond the bridge because people are hunting for you. You're kind of famous. And she's just like, fuck, that sucks. I want to be a normal person. And there's like this raptor living in the forest next to them. And this raptor is named Blue. And it's kind of a bitch, but it's okay. And it had this baby. It had this baby who they named Beta, and it looks exactly like Blue. And they say like, oh, this isn't supposed to happen. Like she did this on her own. It's a perfect clone because they combined the dinosaur genes. You know how in the first movie they combined the dinosaur genes with frog genes. In
I
this
never saw
movie,
the first movie either.
oh fuck, I got a lot of explaining to do then. Well, in the first movie, to make the dinosaurs, to replace the missing DNA, they used frog genes to stick it in there. And because of that, the dinosaurs were able to lay eggs, even though they were all one gender, because frogs are able to change gender. But in this movie, they
Okay, so
they
maybe
just
the clone is a dinosaur and she was able to change gender.
this dinosaur is pretty much an identical copy of Blue because it's not frog genes, it's some uh other animal that I completely forgot. Like it pretty much it's a species that splits and creates a duplicate copy of itself without having to mate with something else. And
so it's a hermaphrodite.
it's the first dinosaur to do that. So
It
the
it fucks by budding.
okay, so we have like the main characters, all right, but like we don't even got the plot yet. So there's a Biosyn is this massive evil co-op corporation that pretty much made the dinosaurs. They made the dinosaurs, put them in Jurassic Park for profit. They fuck, they all escaped. That didn't work. Was tried Jurassic World and for profit. Fuck, that didn't work. And now they're all escaped. So now there's still a corporation and they still have like a Jurassic sanctuary where they have just a bunch of dinosaurs, not all the ones on the planet, just a few of them, you know. And this guy, this company, they biologically engineered some locusts that were fucking huge with dinosaur DNA, and they escaped and clumped up into giant swarms. And they show one scene of these two, the only scene in the whole movie of showing what these locusts are capable of is these little two kids looking over a fence and seeing the whole field is just like one square patch of field is kind of just gone. And then there's little patches of grass. And then they're like, oh, what the fuck happened? And all the bugs come out in this giant swarm and chase the kids to the barn, and they're just hunting the kids down. But like, that's all you get to see. And then it just cuts
Okay.
to saying, "Oh, you know, they only ate this crop. They didn't eat the seed made by Biosyn. You know, the corporation that made dinosaurs. You're pretty sure that no one would ever notice that the giant locust eating plants and not the plants from your corporation wouldn't be connected at all. I don't know. Nobody notices except for like 3 people. But this ends up becoming a world-ending phenomena. Like this could potentially end the world. Is all of these
So,
locusts?
so the movie is about a bunch of locusts that go and run rampant on the world while dinosaurs are also simultaneously running around the world like it's normal.
Exactly. And they have, the main 3 people from the first movie. You know, the guy with the hat, Alan Grant, and then you have Jeff Goldblum, the guy who's like, dude, you're playing God. And then you have like the first old lady, and they're just it's this movie literally becomes their mission to save the world. And
Okay.
that's like they're bringing back all of these old people who were just kind of like running from dinosaurs in their time, and they're kind of famous because of that. They got stranded on a dinosaur island that escaped. Now they literally have to save the world.
So they went from saving their own asses on an island of dinosaurs to saving the world from, just destructive locusts. And those old people they decided would be the best fit to be the ones to go ahead. This could have been a totally different IP and not changed a thing, and you still probably would have had a better movie.
I mean, like, I don't know about that because they did a lot of other stuff. Like, okay, Eli, you never saw the first movie? Did you see any Jurassic Park movies?
I saw the first 3 Jurassic Park movies. I haven't seen the first Jurassic World.
Okay, you haven't seen Jurassic World. You've seen Jurassic Park. So do you
Yeah.
know? You remember the fat guy who has that aerosol can of like it had it held the DNA vials in it and also had the shaving cream in it.
Yeah.
When he talked to that guy, he was talking to this to one guy in the first movie who you never see again. Never saw him again in the first movie. This one guy, the fat guy, was talking to. And then in this movie, the guy he was talking to, his name is Dr. Louis Dogson, and he is old, but he's been working for Biosyn for years now, and he's the big supervillain because he fucking owns it now, and he pretty much has this super genius scientist who made the dinosaurs first way back when in the first movie. This scientist that made is this I forgot his name. They can find. So this
So,
what
so they used a recycled character as the big bad guy.
they did, but it kind of makes sense because
Like
if
a
they use some,
one-off character from the original films.
I mean, if they
They
use some for a bad guy, they have to make someone new, and no one would know who he is. And you can't just say the dinosaurs are the bad guy. Like all the dinosaurs did was they would they would find a person, right? This person waiting there. Then the dinosaur would just kind of stare at them, and then the people would stick their hand out and just like do this weird hand thing, and then the dinosaurs would just sit there and stare at him until they just walked away every single time, except for when there was big dinosaurs like the T-Rex. Every time there was this one specific dinosaur, the whatchamacallitosaurus, they just kind of like they every time there was this giant dinosaur, they said its exact scientific name, and then they say always have to say it's the largest apex predator in the world, and it's just a big dinosaur. But from what I could tell, it's the same size as
So
the dinosaur.
so was there any actual dinosaurs eating people in this movie?
Oh yeah, for sure, there were a lot. There were just people getting eaten up one by one. They're all side characters. We don't care about
But no main characters got eaten.
Absolutely not. No way. It did not happen. But
Yeah.
there was a large cast of main characters. There were like 6 or 8 main characters in this cast. So
they could have done with losing a few.
Like, yeah, you could have killed off Chris Pratt. That would have made it emotional. Okay.
Yeah.
So this guy from the first movie, the big bad, and he has this scientist who made the dinosaurs. He told him to make these locusts. He told the scientist to make the locusts, right? And the scientist is like, dude, we need to kill these things yesterday. This shit's gonna destroy the planet. It's gonna kill the food. It's gonna kill our food's food, and then we're not gonna be able to eat anything because I don't have anything, right? So we like, and the big bad guy is kind of just like, no, we gotta finish this. And if we make an act like that, they're gonna definitely know it was us. So we can't afford that. So they just kind of like try to hide it under the bridge. So they think about how, okay, if we want to stop these locusts, if this is in a safe way that doesn't, fucking make the public freak out, I need Maisie Lockwood because she is not actually a clone. She's something else, and I need her for unexplained reasons at this time in the movie, so that way I could reverse the locust.
So they need the person who released the dinosaurs in the first place to stop them, or to stop the locusts.
No, exactly. Yeah, they need her DNA to figure out how this happened, I guess, which kind of doesn't make sense, but it's the movie, and it's not trying to explain the stuff to me. It's just trying to show me cool stuff and explosions, dinosaurs. So they kidnap. Biosyn sends people to kidnap Maisie Lockwood, and they also kidnap Beta, Blue's baby dinosaur, because they find out, oh shit, she did this also same thing that I could use for unexplained reasons to kill the locusts. So I need Maisie and the tiny baby dinosaur. So they kidnap Maisie, put her on a plane, and instantly Chris Pratt just starts running. He's just
after
going.
the plane, or just wherever the plane's landing.
He runs back to his house and gets in a car. And he's like, he doesn't know where the fuck this girl is. He doesn't know what to do. He just sees her on a bridge getting kidnapped by a bunch of people. So somehow, miraculously, he after the whole movie he spends tracking her down. There's this pilot, this lady who kind of smuggles dinosaurs and things for profit with her airplane. She's a pilot, and her name is Kayla Watts, and she pretty much, just kind of takes people places. They're like, she's like the plot, because she sees Maisie Lockwood, and she's like, oh, these people, what are these people doing with these kids? And then she's like, oh, it's none of my business. I want to walk away. And then later she meets Chris Pratt and the redhead, and then she's like, oh shit, you're looking for the girl I just saw. Now I feel morally obligated to do it, so I guess I will. But during the scene when they meet her, it's this really cool scene of like a black market dinosaur place where there's just a bunch of fucking dinosaurs kind of just like chained up and being cooked, and there's people selling teeth and scales and bones and stuff like that. And it's kind of kind of creepy because there's a bunch of people with guns and knives, and our people are just kind of like, they're just trying to find this person, to find help to get this other person. And there's this whole because somehow they release these dinosaurs from their cages one by one because they get into a fight. It is a very, very cinematic fight. Like, this guy gets pinned down by this little cute dinosaur and this gross looking one, and this big one comes down and bites on his head. But like, there's just a bunch of like really big dinosaurs wrapped up in chains walking around in a tiny building which it feels like a really cool idea. And there's people just like running away and trying to figure out what to do because it's just a giant dinosaur. What are you capable of doing? It's a dinosaur. So Chris Pratt runs away on a bike and he meets this lady in white. And this lady in white is her name Soyona Santos. And Soyona,
What? Okay.
she's like this high deal black market dinosaur fucking dealer. And she's just helping package Maisie up and send her to Biosyn. So they're looking for her right now. And when she realizes that she gets caught, she kind of just, escapes. And she shows off that she has these 3 pet raptors that have been trained like cats to attack anybody who she shoots this little tiny little red dot laser pointer at. Whoever, like, this is a stupid fucking concept because she takes this little cat laser, points it at a person, and then all of a sudden these just raptors hunt this person down until they stop moving.
So she trained the raptors to understand the concept that if I point a laser pointer at someone, that means kill them.
Yeah, pretty much. And it's a stupid concept.
Okay, so she got dogs.
So she's trying to train the raptors to be like assassins.
Yeah, that's what she's trying to do. So there's this really cool like chase scene where Owen Grady is on this like moped driving through these like tiny little alleyways crammed with people and cars and shit, and there's like these 2 fast ass raptors chasing him, and it doesn't feel like he's going fast enough at all to run away from raptors, but he has plot armor, so he can fucking do anything. So he's riding through, and as he takes these random fucking turns in a moped, the dinosaurs get slammed into shit. Like they wouldn't be more dexterous, and he's not on a fucking moped, but he's fucking doing it. And at the same time, Kayla Watts and the redhead are like, she's just fucking running away from these dinosaurs. She's running away from a raptor. Like, how could you possibly escape?
So
There's outrun a raptor.
So
she's at the rooftop, like jumping over shit and like dodging corners to avoid this raptor, like jumping off shit, and she finally lands in this car. And this Kayla Watts, perfect fucking timing, gets in the car and just starts driving. And then Kayla, the fucking redhead, is just fucking in the back with this lead pipe poking at a dinosaur in the face while he's chasing her. And then he finally like moves this pole up against these 2 cars passing by and like close hangs the fucking raptor. It was kind of funny to watch.
Okay. I that's cool. That's cool. Is that like the climax?
No, that's like the middle of the movie.
What? Damn. Alright. Go off.
Really good action scene. And then
got a lot of plot points. Let's go.
Like, plot points are pretty much okay. This person gets kidnapped. We need her back because I'm like her dad now. So I'm gonna go to wherever the fuck I think I can. And they just accidentally run into this person who knows exactly what to do and exactly where to take her. And it's just gold. And everything ties up in a nice, neat knot.
Everything just kind of works out for some reason.
Everything just kind of works out on its own.
Because if it didn't just work out, then they wouldn't have a movie.
Yeah, exactly. They wouldn't be able to milk that franchise for any more money than what they already can.
Okay. Ow. So Kayla Watts and the redhead, they escape the raptor and they get to her plane. And Owen Grady is still outrunning these 2 raptors on a moped, but he gets to, I don't know how he knows where the plane is, but he gets to the runway for the plane, and he just starts driving to this fucking runway with these 2 raptors chasing him. And the redhead's just like, open the fucking door. And the door opens from behind so he can ride up into the ramp. And it takes excruciatingly long for Chris Pratt to drive into this plane until finally he gets in there, and they're going pretty much like the bike gets slammed against the front of the plane, and then they go up in vertical because there's some raptors. They got into the fucking plane, obviously, and then when the plane goes up, the bike falls back down and knocks the raptor into the ocean. It was cool.
Amazing.
Oh
That
yeah.
sounds
Oh yeah.
cool. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
What do you? All right, Eli.
What do
So
you think, Eli?
what do you think?
What do you? Is that the whole movie? Is that the end of it?
No, we're at the middle now. So
Okay.
they're all in the plane.
So wait. So he. Sorry, I zoned out after you said that Chris Pratt took excruciatingly long to drive to the plane.
Okay. Well, it's a lot of action and a lot of complicated plot points is what it is.
That it
Okay.
sounds like they don't really explain a lot of their plot points.
So
Well, they kind of did that in every Jurassic Park movie, didn't they?
I guess that's true.
it's more about the dinosaurs than the plot, Ethan. You always know that.
You watch the
Yeah.
movie because there's dinosaurs, alright? You don't care
But
about.
You don't care about actual plot. You watch it for the dinosaurs, nothing else.
I was talking
Yes.
about how
Yes, I do.
I like the dinosaurs kind of weren't scientifically accurate because dinosaurs used to be genetically related. They used to be the birds' ancestors, used to be related to birds. And so like none of the dinosaurs in Jurassic Park had feathers. And they kind of explained that because of the frog DNA. But in this movie, they pretty much say, dude, we have genetically accurate dinosaurs. Look, they have feathers. And I was just like, touche, movie, touche. Okay, you've been listening.
Do we even know what like dinosaurs look like? At a base
I
level,
mean,
like
all
we
we
even
had was
know what they.
bones,
Yeah,
so
we
we
have
have
bones.
no idea what dinosaurs look like.
Pretty
We
much,
actually have to clone a dinosaur in order to find out whether like what it actually looks like, because like you know how like the skeleton of a rabbit looks like a chupacabra whenever you go ahead and just look at the skeleton of it, but it's just a rabbit. It's a nice cute fluffy ball. So
yeah.
Yeah.
Scientists could
For all we
grossly,
know, dinosaurs could have been big fluffy balls.
yeah,
yeah,
we
could
could
you imagine if dinosaurs were like giant fluffy chickens?
have. It's great.
Like
Okay,
that'd be interesting.
so they're all on a plane now. We got these 3 people on a plane. But pause, we have to shortcut to the 3 OG people from the fucking movie. The first line, Alan Grant from the first movie says, "Why are we digging up these bones? Because it's science. And what is science? Science is truth." This is the very first line you hear from him. Nobody asked him to say that, okay? It's kind of cringy when he's just like, yes, I love science.
It wasn't like even in the script of the movie. You know, it was all on the fly.
All in the pot.
Ellie Sattler, the
He was
old
like,
lady.
hey, this sounds sciencey enough. Let's say this.
Yeah. So the old lady, she meets up with Alan Grant from the first movie, and she's just like, dude, these locusts could destroy the world. You have to come to Biosyn with me so we can get a DNA sample and then prove that they're identical to the locusts and then pin all this shit on Biosyn. That's all she wants to do.
Wait, but then how does that cure the locust issue? That just
That's what I'm asking. It doesn't. But you know what? It's a step
does the
forward
does
direction.
the locust issue actually ever get resolved, or do they just kind of pin it to a company and say, yeah, these people did it?
Oh yeah, they resolve it, and I'll explain how. But when I'm getting to it,
Okay.
I have to wait through the movie. You have to wait for the explanation. so, fucking Alan Grant and Ellie Statler, they conveniently go to Biosyn at the same time as Maisie Lockwood gets kidnapped, and Owen Grady and Claire Dearly get shipped off to fucking Biosyn to the Jurassic Sanctuary to go save her. All of these people, all at the same fucking time, going to the same place for different reasons. It's kind of coincidental.
Huh. Okay.
So as the main group, as the Chris Pratt group, the main group that I wanted to watch the whole time, I wasn't happy watching the fucking old people dance around and just say words. I wanted to see the action. That was where Chris Pratt was at. All right.
I
So
don't know.
back to the Chris Pratt part. They're flying into the Jurassic Sanctuary, and the Biosin, they go on they pull them up on the intercom, and you're just like, yeah, you're not supposed to come here. You we'll shoot you down if you keep going. You got to turn around. And they're just like, I got a shipment. No, there wasn't a shipment. I think you got to leave. Fuck. So they just keep going until they're not going to get shot down. They took off the air defense system, which they didn't explain how it works, but it pretty much just makes all of the dinosaurs fly away or go to the ground. All of the flying dinosaurs get out of the area so planes could pass by. Actually, they did explain it. They said they put neurological chips in every single one of the dinosaurs' brains on the sanctuary, so that way they could press a button and tell all the dinosaurs to go to the sanctuary or do something.
So they basically Order 66 the dinosaurs.
But they said something really smart. It's like it's better than them escaping and wreaking havoc on the world, right? Because of what happened in Jurassic World.
Yeah. So I guess
It's a little bit better, you know. You got to take the lesser of two evils.
I guess, but like
Okay, so their air defense system is just flying
it's just dinosaurs
that,
flying
like,
in the air, like dude.
they just
So,
take out helicopters and shit.
right on. Oh my god, the helicopter would beat up that dinosaur. Fucking shred.
That's what I'm
chop it
saying.
up.
Like, the dinosaur would stand no chance against a helicopter with a fucking blade spinning at 1,000 fucking revolutions per minute. Like,
It was a plane that couldn't physically exist on Earth. It was this giant fucking big-bodied plane, and like this pterodactyl. It came out and right on cue pulled the plane, like pulled the shit up, pulled up the engines, and just flew away. And the whole plane crashes into like a frozen fucking lake. And they cut away to the old people again. And at that moment, I was like, "Fuck!"
wait, did they survive?
When they cut back to Owen
They
Grady, they pop out of the plane, no problem, no scratches at all. Fucking
Yeah, because that's realistic, of course.
yeah,
absolutely.
no. You got a pterodactyl taking your plane out of the sky, you crash and then survive the plane crash. That's realistic 100.
So now they're on this frozen lake. They're on a frozen lake, and it's like cracking because the plane just crammed into it. So they're like barely tiptoeing through this frozen lake, and all of a sudden, this is a dinosaur with feathers. This is red dinosaur with feathers, and it looks really cool. It's staring at him, and Owen Grady sticks his hand out, does the hand thing, and he's just like, don't do it. And then like this piece of ice just suddenly cracks because the dinosaur keeps walking forward, and there's like, ah ha ha, now you can't get to us, bitch. But then the dinosaur, it fucking dives in the water underneath the ice and just starts swimming like a fucking fish. And then Chris Pratt's just like, fuck
I
there.
would shit my pants.
Running. I don't care if we're tiptoeing anymore. I'm out.
You just like walking around, just going ice skating or some shit. You see a dinosaur and then it just like starts swimming under the ice.
Like, oh my god, I'm terrified.
Spot.
So they start running onto this dam that the lake is attached to, and ice is cracking, and Chris Pratt falls into the ice. In this like dinosaur circles around him at first, and then like he doesn't get hypothermia. It's frozen water. He doesn't like look like he's struggling at all, and this dinosaur just starts jugging at him, probably fucking 60, 80s miles an hour, because a fucking dinosaur and a fish can move fucking fast. And he just gets out of the water, no problem at all. Right before he's supposed to, he's not cold.
Well, of course, Chris Pratt is an Olympic swimmer, so obviously.
Yeah, obviously. And so just start running to the dam. They get to the dam, and the dinosaur gets out of the water and starts chasing them on foot again. So now they're running from this dinosaur on ground that they can walk on, and they just get into this tiny little cage. It turns out to be an elevator. Slam it shut, and just go down the elevator while this dinosaur just claws at the doors. Like, ah! And now they're in the underground section of Biosyn. I feel winded.
All right.
The other reason why it's so damn muggy down here tonight.
Okay.
Anyway. Yeah,
At
yeah.
At the same time, all of this is happening. You have Alan Grant and Ellie Statler. They're taking a tour through Biosyn, like they're welcomed guests, and they get to see the fountain and talk to all the scientists, and they have a dedicated coffee barista inside of this secret fucking laboratory underground.
As they should.
I just think, how the fuck did you get that job, bro? How do you become a coffee barista and work for a fucking dinosaur facility that is about to destroy the world?
Was it like Starbucks or some shit, or like was it like
No, it
their
was
own
just
thing?
it
Like
was
some
his
dude
own-
just got a job as a that's like being a coffee barista in the fucking Pentagon.
I bet he gets paid more than any normal fucking.
He probably does. Yes, live on the island.
Oh yeah. So Alan Grant and Ellie Statler, they get to go on their own, and then they meet Jeff Goldblum. And Jeff Goldblum's like, dude, what's up? And they start telling him like the locusts are about to destroy the planet. Can you help us figure out if this is is this Biosyn's fault? And he's like, oh yeah, for sure. Here's the code. Here's my access key. The hallway's down there. Goodbye. And they're just like, okay, cool. So
Do you ever see Jeff Goldblum again?
you do, absolutely. Jeff Goldblum plays a big role in this movie because all of the old people from the first movie had to play a big role because it's probably going to be their last Jurassic Park movie, and they have to save the fucking world. Right now, Jeff Goldblum works for Biosyn, and he's kind of just like teaching classes and just talking out of his ass.
Okay.
So Alan Grant and Nellie Statler, they get into the secret hallway that they're not supposed to be in, but they have access now, and they find a breeding pod of locusts. And you're like, if you brought a camera, that would have been perfect, Like you could have just took pictures of that. But that works too, because they look exactly like the locusts from that you saw, Ellie. Like, how could you tell the difference? But she has to get the fucking DNA sample. So he says, be quiet. Any movement at all could startle the locust. So Alan Grant, he moves very patiently and slowly, and they get to the oldest ones, and they have to grab it, pick up this giant fucking hairy weird bug, and it starts like screaming, and everything else starts screaming, and they get the DNA sample, and like they think they're about to finally finish and leave until an alarm sets because Maisie Lockwood's in Biosyn, right? We have 3 groups of people to follow. Maisie Lockwood is talking to the scientist who made the locust, and he's like, "You're not actually a clone of the guy. No. You're this random person who we've never seen in a movie before. You're she made an identical copy of herself. She cloned herself, right? But she gave birth to an identical copy clone of herself. And she had a genetic disease. And then she cured.
Wait, so she implanted the clone into herself to give birth to.
Yes, she gave birth to herself. And then Maisie Lockwood exactly like her mom. Isn't that weird?
Huh.
That's definitely a strange one.
Oh, indeed. And Maisie Lockwood's like, oh, I'm not like this person I thought I was. I'm this different other person that I didn't know who I was, but I'm still a clone. But that changes everything. And the reason why the scientist needs Blue, not Beta, the Blue's daughter, and Maisie in order to cure the locust is because of her genetic disease that had been cured by her mom. Her mom cured this incurable genetic disease by giving birth to herself. And now he needs her Maisie's blood and Blue's blood in order to put genetic disease on the locusts, so that way the locusts could spread and they could breed with each other. And then this gene pretty much makes them impotent, and so they die off and they can never reproduce anymore. So she needs Maisie and Blue to reverse engineer a fucking terrible gene to put in the locusts to save the world. That's why he needs to kidnap this important girl who we've only seen in one movie before.
Okay. And
So you know what
so-
Maisie does? She escapes.
what?
She lets the raptor beta escape, and she just fucking runs. She doesn't care about saving the world at all. I'm just fucking out of here. These bitches kidnapped me. And then she runs into Alan Grant and Ellie Stetler, and they're like, oh shit, get me out of here. So they got the DNA sample. They got this kid who they've never met before, but know there's something up about it because they know that she's a fucking. They think that they know that she's a clone of this famous person. So they take her with them because she says she's been kidnapped, and they get on this hollow train. It's this big circular train that goes real fast underground, and finally the big bad guy realizes what's up. Okay, I've been infiltrated. My shit's been fucked. The girl has escaped. I need the raptor back. He sees film of the guy with the hat and Ellie Stetler fucking taking the DNA, and he knows that if he exposes the DNA, he'll fucking go to jail. So he pauses the hollow train in the middle of a mining shaft with a bunch of dinosaurs. Just like you're stuck there. Fend for yourself. Like he could possibly kill Maisie Lockwood and then be fucked and be the reason that the entire world ends, but he doesn't think about that. He's kind of just like, yeah, stop him. Kill him at all costs.
If this happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't.
If it happens, it happens, you know, but it obviously nobody dies.
Kill them.
Yeah. So
like who cares if the world ends?
yeah, so Jeff Goldblum saves these 3 people from the mine shaft, and now we have a bigger main party. And then at the same time, Owen Grady. Oh, okay. So when Owen Grady and Kayla Watts got crashed on their airplane, they ejected Claire from a seat that had a parachute attached to it, and it got taken down by a pterodactyl. And so this redhead on her own, this whole time has been going on her own little adventure. And she's kind of just like wandering through the forest until she like as soon as she drops, there's this giant dinosaur, and it has these like these 3 claws on either side of its fucking hand, and it looks like the Wolverine. It's got this long, skinny looking face, and it looks kind of fucking weird. But this dinosaur, it just fucking smacks a deer like 50 feet. Doesn't even worry about eating it, just smacks the bitch. So the redhead, probably just like knowing that this is a fucking shitty situation, is army crawling through the forest from this giant, and like this giant Wolverine monster dinosaur is kind of like right behind her, watching her army crawl, and he's just like, what are you doing, human? Until she finally crawls into a puddle. He watches her crawl into a puddle, and she holds her breath under the water. And then this dinosaur fucking, I don't know, has 10-second memory. It just forgets that she's there. It looks at the water, it screams at the water, and then it walks away. Like this one looks like yeah, this is a fucking dinosaur. What is that?
So it's basically dinosaur movie do dinosaur thing with locusts in dinosaur movie, and I'm glad that you were explaining this to me so that way I don't have to go watch it.
Okay, so big bad. He says, "Oh shit, they fucking escaped with the DNA. That's it. burn it all. He all of the locusts. He takes this giant flamethrower machine and like washes it over all of the locusts in his just the locusts inside of his lab, not the ones inside of the real world. But then like a ventilation shaft opens and then a bunch of fucking flaming locusts fly up into the sky and they start burning down the entire sanctuary as they just start dropping from the sky while flying. Like there's just a fire over the entire forest. There's just a bunch of dinosaurs just like, what do I do? And like the is trapped inside of this fire now, and she's just like trying to escape, and she's getting to this like weird sanctuary place, and she's about to be eaten by like a bunch of tiny little dinosaurs when all of a sudden Chris Pratt comes up and fucking chokes this dinosaur, and he's like, "Get out of here!" And they all just run away.
The dinosaurs just run away and they saved Chris Pratt.
Intimidation.
Alright. What's next?
So
That movie?
we got two groups of people now. But actually, it's one group of people because everyone meets up at this one weird place out in the middle of nowhere. It's this foundation where it's like a little mini laboratory. When the giant dinosaur comes out and starts chasing everybody around, and Jeff Goldblum puts a locust on a pike, a flaming locust on a pike, and he throws it down the dinosaur's throat, and the dinosaur starts breathing fire. Just way too much fire, breathing fire. I feel like that was nice little one.
Jeff Goldblum turned a dinosaur into a dragon?
He fucking did that. Yes, indeed, he did. So everyone gets saved, and they have to go do some other shit. And finally, okay, I need to breathe for a moment.
You're getting so lightheaded from just like explaining this movie at the top of your lungs to everyone.
Okay.
I can't even tell if Eli's still here. Like, I don't even know. I'm listening very intently though, so.
All right.
Good.
I'm listening, but I'm also trying to fix my AC because it's hot as fuck here.
That's what you do. Yeah, you fix your fucking AC.
Damn.
Well, I'm trying not to die, Daxter. All right. I'm sorry that I don't live in a house with central heating and air. All right. Fuck me.
Damn, that's rough. I don't even live in a house with central heating and air, but it's a cool 65 degrees out here in Los Angeles.
It is
So-
65 degrees in Los Angeles.
Cool, 65 degrees in Los Angeles in the middle of July.
Fuck you, Ethan.
In the final act, the big climax of the movie, all of the dinosaurs used their chip to walk back to the middle of the sanctuary, and everyone went back to the sanctuary to get something, or reconnect with other people. I guess I mixed something up, but pretty much all of the dinosaurs are in the same place, and they don't all get along. So all of these people are like being eaten in the sanctuary. All of these scientists, shit's gone haywire. Everything's burning. So, like, all of the people are just running to this airplane to finally escape, and then they grab the scientist. The scientist can save the fucking world, right? So they bring him with them. But right before they get into the plane, the big Wolverine dinosaur faces off against the whatchamacallitosaur, the largest apex predator in the world. And so they get into a fight, and then a third giant T-Rex pushes the whatchamacallitosaurus into the Wolverine, and like the Wolverine-saurus sticks its fingers straight out and kind of like gets the dinosaur gets pushed into its Wolverine claws and gets impaled 6 times, and then all of the dinosaurs kind of just like, I did it, and they just walk away.
Like, yes, you did it. Good job. Good job, Chief.
Okay, and then everyone escapes, and the scientist fucking sends one locust out into a giant swarm of locusts, and that, I guess, is gonna take down the whole swarm, and the whole world is saved. And Blue is reconnected with his baby Beta, and Maisie's just kind of like gonna be raised by Chris Pratt. The end.
Uh,
Wait, that's the end of it.
That's the end of the movie.
That's it. All of the old people, all of these fucking Jurassic World saved the world. Yeah, that's what it is.
Jurassic Park saves the world.
Jurassic Park saves fucking world.
It's
But
beautiful.
like, there's a little bit of news clippings at the end, just no explanation. All of a sudden, everybody's kind of getting along with dinosaurs, and all of the wildlife is agreeing and hanging out with the dinosaurs. Even though, wouldn't you think that like dinosaurs be an apex predator and completely decimate the wildlife population because they have no other competition?
You would think that it
Yeah.
would, like, it would just
all of the
demolish
animals-
all the wolves, bears, and deers out there.
No. You forgot about the chips that they put in their brains so
Only-
that they don't do that.
In the sanctuary. What about all
So
the
they would just go ahead and starve themselves to death.
Oh, those are just the ones in the sanctuary.
Yeah. All of the ones that bred out in the wild with all the people and civilization, they don't have chips. And there's also like a black market full of dinosaurs. They don't have fucking chips. So
Wow.
all of the dinosaurs and animals live in harmony. You know, the pterodactyls
Really old there.
and don't, birds. It's
So many.
I don't know how they're gonna do another movie, to be honest.
Yeah, I don't
They'll
think
come
they
up
are.
with some bullshit.
It's gonna be normal people hanging out with dinosaurs. Like, here's my pet dinosaur. I get to ride it.
There's gotta be a bunch of TikToks of people on their dinosaurs.
All right, Eli, what do you think of the movie? Do you think it's worth a watch?
I honestly don't think it's worth the watch at all.
I don't think I explained it very well because I had a great time watching the movie. But now that I've thought about
Well,
it,
I'm not a fan of the
I
Jurassic
bet you
Park
did.
movies in general.
yeah,
I mean, Jurassic Park is Jurassic Park. Like, I'll watch it if it's on, but outside of that, like, it's like Mac to me.
I mean, you get to see.
I'm
dinosaurs.
sure you had an amazing time, especially since you went with Kelsey. How's that going, by the way?
All right, guys, this is a great podcast. Catch you on Okay.
Okay. Did you guys write down any more topics?
We have some more. Yeah.
I'll ask her tomorrow.
To people who've never seen the movie before. So I want to see you guys pick out your own movies and explain it to me.
That's what
Okay.
you want to say? Okay.
It was
All right.
also creating more community down there. Is all it was
Yeah,
doing.
You want us to go ahead and like pick out random ass movies? Like, what movies would we even watch? There's not a lot good out right now. Like, what you want us to go ahead and watch? Buzz
It
Lightyear?
didn't rain today. So it's
I mean-
giving things just try.
I'm gonna do the Minions Rise of Gru.
You're gonna
Oh.
watch Minions: Rise of Gru.
I did watch that on the same day I watched Jurassic
Oh,
World.
you watched them both?
I watched them both on the same day.
That must have been a great day.
I have no shame.
Okay. So the first thing that I've got in my list of podcast topics is childhood fears. All right, so let's talk about childhood fears.
Childhood
now?
fears.
Yeah, right now.
It's only
you-
been
are
an
you-
hour.
This kitty's got a new
I
toy.
should save that for another topic, another day.
But
What do you mean? Childhood fears are fine.
Well, you don't want to talk about your childhood fears, Daxter?
What, you're afraid of like the hamburger helper man chasing you down the hallway?
No, I know exactly what Daxter was afraid of as a child.
Well, I don't, so this is news to me.
This year, that was more of a phobia.
So, Daxter, what were you afraid of as a child?
All right, guys, that was a great episode. Have a great day. Goodbye.
I'll tell the podcast why you're not okay. Daxter was afraid of pickles as a kid.
Oh, fuck, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
I totally forgot. Yeah, that's why he would run around the house chasing him with a fucking pickle.
Yeah. Okay,
that
well, I
shit.
guess Daxter's done with the podcast for today.
You fucking dipped. That's all he wanted to talk about. He wanted to talk about Jurassic World and dip. That's nothing else. Nothing else. I love it. I like it.
Okay. We will have more topics next podcast. Thank you guys for coming and watching. If there is anyone that watched this, I don't know. Yeah, we're gonna do this every Wednesday. This one was on a Thursday because I just moved into a new house and I had to get my internet set up. So yeah, this is the Heck Shid Podcast. You want to say anything?
Your hood
Ethan?
out. Eat your fucking hood out. That's all I've got to say. No one's got to be watching this, but
I don't know. We'll
It'd be
see. Someone might.
it'd
Some
be-
fucking crazy motherfucker.
okay, well, if some fucking crazy motherfucker comes and watches this and somehow sends this to me or you or whatever, I'm going to literally shit a brick, fly that brick out to wherever that dude's address is, and make sure that brick of shit buys him a nice cake.
Okay. All right. Well, there you go, guys. If you watch the podcast, you'll get a shit of brick from Ethan, or a brick of shit. My bad.
Yeah. No
all
one's
right.
gonna watch, especially not the first episode. No one.
See you guys
No,
later.